Hi everyone, it is Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I am very good. And Kansas State has a new offensive coordinator, just like that. If you missed out on the news, Conor Riley left over the weekend or heading into the weekend to become the new offensive line coach at the Dallas Cowboys, leaving K-State with an opening as an O-line coach and for offensive coordinator. And immediately, people thought Matt Wells would be the new offensive coordinator. And he is. But what does that mean? Who is the new offensive line coach? Let's discuss that. First, your reminder to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I tell you every day, and some of you aren't doing it. Let me put my head up here. This is me being disappointed. That right there. Okay. On with the DD. Oh, some serious journalism right there. Matt Wells was the obvious choice to take over as offensive coordinator. He and Chris Klieman have a great working relationship. Chris Klieman brought him in to replace Colin Klein as the quarterback coach, essentially the handler of Avery Johnson and his future. He entrusted him with that, and he believes that he's the right guy to lead Avery Johnson and now this offense into a new future. I was never that upset with Conor Riley as offensive coordinator. He was learning, but that might have been the problem. He was having to learn. And I know a lot of you are thinking, good, Matt Wells is an experienced offensive coordinator. He really doesn't have that much experience in that area, but he is an offensive mind. As a head coach at both Utah State and Texas Tech, his offenses had definition to what they were doing. And honestly, it was throwing the ball more. But we'll see if that translates to what he wants to do in the Big 12, because the Big 12 is different. And something that I don't think we fully grasp is how difficult it is to be a coordinator at this level, offense or defense. Why? Because the gap of success in the Big 12 and failure is minute. Play calls might succeed 53% of the time and you win. It's that difficult to scheme against other coaches with like talent. There's no huge gap in talent here. There's no Ohio State playing Purdue and making it look easy. This is always a good fight every time you line up in the Big 12. But let's discuss who's going to be that offensive line coach. You see, if I thought it was going to be someone internal, which I kind of thought it might be Brian LePack, Kansas State's tight ends coach, is an offensive line coach by trade. But that announcement wasn't made. And I thought maybe Drew Little, who has been assisting as an offensive line coach, as an analyst, would then move to the tight ends. But that announcement didn't come either. So what is going on? Well, there's one thought out there that Chris Klieman is actually looking to spend a little money to do something a little bit definitive with that offensive line position. I don't know what that could be. There's a couple candidates that have been on our hot board that point to a possibility. But I'll say this. I think he knows who he wants. I think he's run the numbers. And now the numbers are being run by those above him that do the budgets. And while the instinct is give him whatever he wants to win, you got to understand as we head into this new era of revenue sharing, the budgets at a lot of these schools are going to be really tight. Stay tuned. We'll see what Chris Klieman does with that offensive line position. But I got to say this. I think K-Staters are feeling pretty good about where this offense could go now that Avery Johnson's tutor, Matt Wells, is calling the plays for his prize student. We'll see how it pans out. We'll see if we get an announcement on a new offensive line coach anytime soon. Stay tuned at GoPowercat.